Welcome to Media Chats, a dialogue bringing together media professionals to delve into trending issues and industry insights. I'm Xu Yawen in Beijing. Leaders of the member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization are gathering in Kazakhstan's Astana later this week to discuss strengthening the bloc's role in solving current international and regional issues. Leaders of the observer countries and dialogue partners will also participate in the annual event. China, Russia, and 4 Central Asian countries founded the SCO in 2001. Initially, it focused on mutual efforts to curb terrorism, separatism, and extremism in the region. Over the past 2 decades, cooperation has expanded to other fields like economy, culture, and politics. With 26 member states, observers, and dialogue partners, the SCO has become the world's largest regional cooperation organization. So what has been achieved? How can this organization help bring more stability as the world faces increasing uncertainties? And what challenges may the bloc face as its membership and agenda expand? With these questions and more, today we're joined by 3 distinguished guests. They are Maknoor Makhdoom, Daily Mail Pakistan's journalist and editor of China Affairs; Yevgeny Pavlov, he's a correspondent for the Sputnik Agency Beijing office. And on the line, we have Dilyara Dalit. She's the journalist, public relations director of Top Press in Kazakhstan. Thanks for being here. First of all, let me go to you, Maknoor. You have been covering SCO and also the China and Pakistan-related affairs. Based on your past experience, more like on the side of the personal experience, what are some events or development achievements impressed you the most?
So personally, I started following the SCO long ago when Pakistan was just an observer during the time of our former president, General Musharraf, which was a while ago. And then in 2017, I believe Pakistan joined SCO officially, and I covered the SCO summit after Pakistan had joined it in 2018 in Qingdao. Since then and from before, I believe that it has played an important role in helping Pakistan curb terrorism, transnational crimes, and other issues, other regional issues. It has helped greatly in, creating regional stability. Also promoted a lot of transcultural connectivity, communication. As you can see, a lot of Pakistani students go to the SCO member states to study, to work. So there's been a lot of people-to-people exchanges, and also a lot of government cooperation, a lot of trade cooperation. So it's opened up a lot of connectivity avenues, a lot of cooperation avenues for Pakistan.
So Yevgeny, based on your past working experience, especially when it comes to the SCO, because we know in the past 10 years, this organization has been growing rapidly. What are some impressive developments under the framework of the SCO based on your observation?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I really dived in the SCO agenda a little bit last autumn when I actually arrived to China and Beijing. So obviously the headquarters of the SCO, and I've attended some of the events. And these were probably one of the first events where I actually seen these people, this many people from a number of countries, this particular set of countries together. And it was quite interesting to see such a multicultural team together working on some issues and talking and discussing things. So I believe as far as the achievements are concerned, it's actually many directions where these organizations is doing things, but I believe the most important one is actually the way it expanded, because it now covers pretty much a good chunk of Eurasia, and it basically shows that this organization has a huge potential, and there is a big interest in the world in joining it and participating in its activities.
Yeah. Let me go to you. So Dilyara, as a founding member and the rotating president of the SCO, what role do you believe Kazakhstan plays in supporting regional security and economic cooperation within the SCO framework?
First of all, thank you very much for having me on this panel, and thank you very much for inviting me on behalf of my country, Republic of Kazakhstan, one of the leading countries of Eurasian continent, and of course, the heart of Central Asia. And of course, as a member state of SCO and the rotating president, as you mentioned, of the last year, we can say that Kazakhstan views the SCO as the organization with a great potential. If we compare its work with other bigger and major unions, like, for example, United Nations, we can say that SCO is more focused on the very important, crucial targets and tasks for the region and for the global agenda. So for us, of course, SCO and participation and of course leadership in this organization is very crucial.
Expanding of the organization remains one of the important topics to be discussed during this year's Astana summit. And we know the organization has expanded twice in the past since its establishment in 2001. The first time it was in 2017. You said Pakistan and India joined. And then last year, it was the second time Iran joined at the New Delhi summit. So it's reported that Belarus will be the next new member states to join in. So from Pakistan's experience, what qualifications does it need for becoming a member? And what has been achieved so far since Pakistan joining?
So I believe Pakistan strongly supports expansion of such councils. It believes that SCO should also expand and should include more like-minded countries like that's already existing member states. Belarus is joining, and it's quite a good news for all of us. I think it will play an important role in the regional stability. And, you know, Afghanistan is an observer for now, but if Afghanistan joins, I think it will also play quite an important role in the security of the entire region. And like I said, mentioned before when we were discussing, that such kind of cooperations and military trainings of the member states have proven to be very useful in the past. For example, when Pakistan and India were at the brink of a major clash, it was the military joint exercises organized by Russia for the SCO member states that helped in curbing the tension between the two countries and avoiding a major conflict. So if these important, really regionally important countries join, the more they join, the more expands, it can only lead to betterment and more stability.
That's a very good point, because the original goal of SCO was to maintain regional peace and to, resolve those potential conflicts through political measures and dialogue. Evgeny, we know Belarus is certainly to become a new member state this summer. Also, it's reported that Laos and Algeria applying to become dialogue partners. In your observation, why do more and more countries want to be part of this bloc?
Well, my take on that, Belarus becoming a member of the SCO in the future certainly is a good addition. It further extends the geography of the SCO into Europe, making it a truly Eurasian kind of group of nations that are trying to solve some issues together. As far as why more and more countries are willing to join, I believe that more and more countries are actually being kind of fed up with being treated like students, and they want to participate in something like adults, where they are not going to be treated as some countries that are supposed to look up to some standards, where they just seriously want to sit down together and dive into some issues together. And we are kind of working together to moving forward to a more multipolar and truly democratic in the international relations sense world, whereas in some cases, basically, yes, as I said, the countries, they want to seriously sit down and discuss some issues and not be taught how to do things, how to build up their own political systems. So, for example, by the organizations like the European Union. And for example, we're seeing more and more interests from the countries in the Middle East or Northern Africa in such organizations like BRICS and SCO. That's, I think, exactly the reason why, because like Turkey has been waiting for the EU membership for a long time, and now obviously it's still not happening. So it's not that they deny that perspective, but they also want to participate in other different formats, and I think it basically can be applied to any other country that is interested, and I think this number is going to grow.
Deliara, Most SCO members, observers, and dialogue partners are located along the Asian Silk Road, and some suggest that the SCO and BRI are historically linked and natural partners that have complementary strengths. So how do you view the integration of the BRI and SCO?
Oh, thank you very much for these questions. And if you allow me, I would like to add some points to my colleague's speech. I think that right now SCO represents the voice of middle power. By middle power, I mean Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan. So the voices of countries that ensure the food and economic and supply security in the region. So Kazakhstan, as the epicenter of the ancient Silk Road, is now it's really symbolic that it's now like a starting point of all the initiatives in the frames of SCO, like BRI. So as you know, the first announcement of BRI initiative was in Astana in Kazakhstan. And now it's very important for our country to lead this initiative, to lead the most important points of this initiative. And as media representatives, I think our priority should be in enhancing the coverage throughout our region and to enhance media cooperation between our countries. Because right now, of course, a lot of people, they know about BRI, they know about SCO, but the deepness of this knowledge is not so good. And I think we can promote the BRI initiative and the SCO cooperation initiatives to the next level.
Mahnur, let me come to you because you've been covering SCO and also the BRI. So do you have anything to add about the integration between the two?
I believe, like we discussed already, that BRI is primarily focused on development, infrastructure, and more economic based, and SCO is more regional stability and more connectivity based. So I believe, in simpler words, that SCO truly complements and supplements the BRI spirit with Shanghai spirit.
We've been discussing opportunities and the cooperation under the framework of the SCO. Now let's talk about the challenges. Afghanistan has been an observer under this framework for a while, and today still we have seen some news about the rising terrorism incidents happening in Afghanistan. So how do you look at its role of SCO to deal with like the terrorism issue in Afghanistan? And also some other people are talking about the unity of this organization. So your take on that, and also what has been done to deal with this kind of challenges?
Yeah, obviously it's no secret that Afghanistan kind of has become, it's not a very stable region, has never been in the last like decades, maybe even centuries. So obviously it's kind of geographically in the center of the SCO, so it borders Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Pakistan, right, China, Iran. So obviously there are some challenges coming from this country and that need to be addressed by all the neighbors, and that's, I think, one of the challenges that unites the SCO, and I think that all of these countries are interested in the stability of Afghanistan. So obviously, both from the economic perspective, they're interested in making Afghanistan more stable, and from the security perspective, so such military players as, well, obviously, like Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, all of these countries are major military players, and which assure military, like, and general security, yes, stability in this regard. Although it's a challenge, it's kind of a challenge that unites different SCO members. It gives kind of a common platform for security cooperation, and I think it's a good thing, and it's probably going to be a major factor in securing stability for Afghanistan itself, and we can hope for a brighter future.
Mahnur, do you think, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like my colleague just said, that Afghanistan is in a very strategically important position. So the issue and the instability of the country is not something we can ignore as its neighbors and, you know, as the country that's surrounded. So like the organization like RATS, which is the Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure, which is a platform under SCO which focuses solely on combating terrorism. I think with the joining of Afghanistan and integrating it with this structure, with this platform, it can help us greatly in creating some kind of stability in the region and also help Afghanistan combat its domestic terrorism.
Another thing is very interesting is that when I was doing research, I saw some opinions in the Western mainstream media saying that they're comparing the SCO and the NATO. And they said that SCO is the new military alliance formed against NATO and also a counterbalance for China and Russia to the influence of the United States in Central Asia. What do you guys make of this kind of comments? Because from China's perspective, I mean, the SCO was created to counter three evils, to fight against the terrorism, separatism, and extremism. And also, it's not a military alliance, but rather it united the voice from the Central Asian countries and also from surrounding countries surrounding the area to maintain regional stability, to create development opportunities, to promote trade and people-to-people exchanges, and so on and so forth. So how do you see this kind of opinions?
I think this is a typical Western propaganda. You know, there's absolutely no similarity between the two organizations. NATO is predominantly just a military organization. I believe it's just a body of mercenaries. All these countries, they pool in money together and they send NATO to wherever they want. That is not what SCO does. Sure, we have some joint military exercises or some joint training, but that's about it. We will not just march into countries, invade them. Look at what they did in Afghanistan for 20 years. NATO destroyed Afghanistan. So, and you know, SCO focuses on good neighborly relations, on prosperity, on prospering together, development. They don't have the same instinctive goals or, how to say, like,
promoting the regional
yeah,
stability.
they don't have the same framework at all.
Yeah.
They don't have the same framework. So I think that's really just utter nonsense. Like I said, it's just basically just Western propaganda to basically diminish its authenticity and its authority.
What do you make of this kind of comments?
Well, I absolutely agree with my colleague. There's absolutely no evidence to support this argument that SCO is a new kind of NATO in a different region. I absolutely agree that it's an absolutely different framework, different mechanism. And first and foremost, yes, first of all, it's not a specifically military security organization. It's all kind of cooperation, economic, cultural. And also it does not have a clear leader. So if you're talking about NATO, it's obviously, you know, one ring to rule them all kind of thing. It's basically the United States and kind of their satellites kind of relationship. And it's specifically military. And here, yes, we have a set of different players with different interests and priorities who meet up on the same platform to address certain challenges. And yeah, obviously it's a very different thing. It's not some kind of military alliance.
Diliara, do you have anything to add? How do you look at the difference between SCO and NATO?
Yes, I totally agree with my colleagues because SCO is a great, effective dialogue platform, first of all, and Kazakhstan views it like this. So, the dialogue platform for middle powers and the major powers in our region, where we can now call the SCO like the club of sovereign democracies that have common tasks for the region and have common targets. So we need to talk about them. And looking ahead to upcoming July's summit in Astana, we can say that all the focus will be given to the topic of security insurance and insurance of stability in this region. So we cannot say that SCO has anything in common with NATO.
Mark Noor, I want to come to you. We know currently there are a few regional conflicts going on. For instance, the Russia-Ukraine conflict and also the crisis going on in Gaza. So under that background, what do you think the role of the SCO could play to promote or to bring more stability to the region and even to the world?
I think SCO, like we discussed already, is primarily a dialogue platform, right? And I believe also in the past, China especially has played an important role, although it does not deal directly with bilateral issues. But often on these SCO summits, the heads of states, they meet on the sidelines to discuss important issues. And I think they have helped in the past. They've helped Pakistan and India attention in the past. And I believe some more of these dialogues and conversations between these important heads of states on the sidelines of SCO summits could greatly help all these conflicts and bring some real resolution.
So how do you look at the role of SCO in promoting a more multipolar global order?
Well, I believe the mechanism itself, how it is organized, is already kind of leading us to that. I don't think, like for example, if you're talking back about conflict resolutions, I don't believe that SCO can immediately solve any conflict. It's since, as I said, it's not an organization that has a clear leader. It does not necessarily. It cannot compete necessarily with certain other organizations which we discussed, like that are more like military alliances in terms of effective and fast decision making. But that's a long process, and it's both a weakness and a strength, because here we have a club of countries that are not military allies or something, but it is a club of. It's a bid for a new format where responsible players, as I mentioned before, with sometimes conflicting interests and priorities, gather together to solve some issues. And I think in the future maybe it's going to grow, and it's just we shouldn't expect any immediate effect. But I think it's a work in progress, and should be patient about it.
Over the past 20+ years, the SCO has united countries with different social systems and development paths, creating a new cooperation model and promoting a multipolar international relations system. We look forward to the Astana summit serving as a new starting point for the development of the SCO. So with that, we're wrapping up this episode of Media Chats. Many thanks to our panelists, Maknoor Makhdoom, a Daily Mail Pakistan journalist and editor of China Affairs; Yevgeny Pavlov, he's the correspondent for the Sputnik agency in the Beijing office. And also online we have Tilyara Dolit, she's a journalist, public relations director of Top Press in Kazakhstan. I'm Xu Yawen in Beijing. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.
This is CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.